Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Welcome to Vedic Heritage and yet another episode on the Argala Stotram. In this episode, we will see the 7th verse and the story referred to here. Since this will be a long story, I have partitioned this verse into episodes 7a and b. In 7a, we will see the comprehensive story of the Devi's fight with the Shumbha and Nishumbha brothers as described in the Devi Mahatmyam. In episode 7b, we will see the meaning as well as the significance of this verse. Nishumbha Shumbha Nirnashi Trailokya Shubhade Namah Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi. Salutations to one who destroyed the Asuras Nishumbha and Shumbha, one who bestows auspiciousness in the three worlds. O Devi, please grant me good form, victory and glory, both material and spiritual. Please destroy my enemies, both internal and external. This 7th verse describes the final fight between the Asuras Shumbha and Nishumbha and Durga Devi. I have described the fight between various Asuras and the Devi in the episodes 3 to 6. But in this final stage of the war, I will give a comprehensive view of the complete battle which lasted 9 days. Let us begin. The story of Shumbha and Nishumbha begins in the 5th chapter of the Devi Mahatmyam. Shri Parvati Devi relates how the two Asura brothers undertook severe penance at Pushkara, a sacred place, with the aim of conquering the three worlds. They remained there meditating for 10,000 years. Pleased with their penance, Shri Brahma granted them the boon that they may not be harmed neither by men nor gods nor asuras. Emboldened by this power, the two brothers proceeded to wreak havoc in the three worlds. They took over the heavens and the duties of the gods as well. They even took what was offered in yajnas to the devas. The defeated and desperate devas approached the mother goddess for protection. She assured them of her protection. Shortly, she was born as a daughter to Himavan, the lord of Himalayas. This avatara, as Parvati Devi, was in order to ensure the destruction of the brothers Shumbha and Nishumbha. Since neither men nor gods nor asuras could kill them, Parvati Devi as a woman would be their destroyer. One day, as young Parvati Devi went for a bath in the river Ganga, she saw the devas assembled, praising the mother goddess, beseeching her to help them regain their lost status. She inquired, "Whom do you praise thus?" At once, a bright form emerged from her body. She was Ambika Devi, the power of mother goddess. "It is I they beseech," said Ambika Devi, shimmering with power. Having emerged from Parvati Devi's kosha or body, Ambika Devi is called Kaushiki. It was in the Himalayas, therefore, that Chanda and Munda, the two asuras in the army of Shumbha, encountered Ambika Devi. We have seen all the encounters that Ambika Devi had with many asuras in the earlier verses. Now we will see the whole picture in sequence as a complete story. Chanda and Munda encounter Ambika Devi in the Himalayas. Overwhelmed by her beauty which illumined the entire Himalayas, they spoke of Ambika Devi's beauty to their king Shumbha. As the usurper and possessor of all the worlds, as well as all that was precious in every world, they suggested that Shumbha should possess her too, the jewel among women. Shumbha thus became eager to possess Ambika Devi. He sent the Asura Sugriva, a smooth talker, to extol Shumbha's prowess and standing and to convince the Devi to accept Shumbha or his brother Nishumbha as her consort. But the Devi spoke sweetly and told Sugriva that although Shumbha and Nishumbha were verily the world's greatest warriors, she could not accompany Sugriva because she had long back vowed to only marry a warrior who could defeat her in battle and quell her pride. So she urged Sugriva to tell Shumbha to come and fight with her in the Himalayas. Sugriva was unable to convince the Devi, neither sweetly nor with threats to follow him. Unsuccessful in his mission, Sugriva returned frustrated and empty-handed. Angered by Devi's insolence and refusal to come to him, Shumbha decided to send his commander, Dhumralochana, with an army of 60,000 Asura soldiers to bring Ambika Devi willingly or by force. Unable to convince the Devi, Dhumralochana approached her to drag her by her hair. The Devi uttered just a single syllable, hum, which instantly slayed Dhumralochana. Her lion then fell upon his army and tore them apart entirely. Hearing of this defeat, Shumbha sent his commanders Chanda and Munda with a much larger army. They were instructed to drag her back by her hair, and if that failed, the complete army was to attack and wound her with all their weapons, making her weak enough to subdue. Some soldiers of the army tried to forcibly take Ambika Devi. She turned black with anger, and from her angered forehead emerged Mahakali, fierce and terrifying to behold. Armed with a noose and a sword and a skull-topped staff, Kali fell upon the army. Elephants, horses, chariots and warriors went into her enormous mouth. She chomped and ground them to bits. She crushed some warriors with the weight of her foot and cut others down. Seeing her fury and terrible self, the rest of the army lay low. The enraged Chanda rushed at her, showering her with arrows, while Munda hurled thousands of discurses at her. She swallowed all of them, and then mounting her lion, rushed at Chanda and cut his head off. She threw Munda on the ground and slayed him as well. Then, carrying both their cut heads in her hands, Kali presented them to Ambika Devi, saying, I have slain Chanda and Munda. You may now take care of Shumbha and Nishumbha. Pleased with Kali, Ambika named her Chamunda, the slayer of Chanda and Munda. Shumbha became furious at this loss. He mobilized all the Daitya hosts, 86 Asuras with all their forces, 84 Kambhus, 50 Asura families, 100 families of Daumras, and all their forces were summoned. Shumbha now set forth with this formidable army of thousands. Seeing this immense army come forth, Ambika let out a loud twang from her bow. Her lion roared loudly. She rang her bell which resonated in all directions, and Chamunda rent the skies with her screams. Hearing this, the army surrounded Ambika Devi and Kali from all sides. Meanwhile, the Devas too gathered to offer their support to the Devi, and the power of each Deva with the weapons of the Deva came forth as a Devi, a Matrika. Brahmani from Brahma, Maheshwari from Mahesha, Vaishnavi from Vishnu, Aindri from Indra, Kaumari from Skanda, Varahi from Varaha, and Narasimhi from Narasimha. From the body of Ambika Devi came forth the power of Chandika, fierce and howling like 1,000 jackals. She summoned Shiva and asked him to go to Shumbha and Nishumbha with a message. They were to return the 3 worlds to Indra and allow the sacrificial offerings to be partaken by the Devas. They should then retreat to the netherworlds if they wish to live. Since the Devi sent Shiva as a Duta, a messenger, she was named Shivaduti. Shumbha, as expected, was insulted and roared revenge, and the war began. Ambika Devi, Chamunda Devi, and the Matrikas fell upon the Asura and Daitya armies. Seeing the colossal damage inflicted to the army, Raktabija, a ferocious commander, came forth to battle the Matrikas. Thanks to a boon, each drop of his blood, when shed and touched the earth, generated another Raktabija. The never-ending droves of clones from Raktabija's blood became a hurdle for the Devis. To counter this, Ambika Devi instructed Mahakali to devour all the blood that spilled from his body as and when the Matrikas wounded him, and also to devour all the clones produced from the shed blood. In a short while thereafter, the Matrikas were able to rout Raktabija and his army thoroughly. Hearing of their defeat, Shumbha and Nishumbha entered the fray to win the war. Although Brahma's boon had granted the brothers protection against men, god and asuras, no such protection existed against a lady, the goddess. They attacked with myriad weapons for a long time. In each attempt, the Devi thwarted them easily. During the long and arduous fight, Nishumbha and Shumbha were wounded and fell, only to rise again and fight. In the end, Nishumbha succumbed to Ambika's arrow. But from the pierced chest arose an asura armed with the Devi's sword. She swiftly cut off his head too. Meanwhile, the other Matrikas demolished the army of Nishumbha. Seeing Nishumbha slain and the army decimated, Shumbha taunted the Devi that she had won only with the help of the others and that she was not fit to fight him alone. Ambika told him that there were no others. All of them were but her own powers. Saying this, she absorbed all the Matrikas into herself. Then, just as Devi Ambika, she battled Shumbha. The fight was long and furious. They fought on the earth and in the sky with a host of weapons. The two seemed to be equally matched at first. But while the Devi fought effortlessly, Shumbha was slowly depleting. And with one final strike, Ambika Devi slayed Shumbha and emerged victorious. She was praised by all the Devas, Rishis and heavenly hosts who had gathered to watch this battle. Then the three worlds came back to a peaceful state of existence. Thus ends the epic battle of the Devi's destruction of all asuras. This battle is said to have lasted 9 days and nights, and on the 10th day, Ambika Devi emerged victorious. This is why we celebrate the 9 days and nights as Navratri and the 10th day as Vijayadashami, the victorious 10th. Although very entertaining, the story is not just a story. It is filled with symbolism. So I will explain that in the next episode. Do not miss that episode, because only then will you understand the deep philosophy behind each of our stories. These stories were not about bloodthirsty, violent men and gods. They hold deep philosophical truths and directions for life within them. So do join me in that episode too. You may subscribe and enable notifications to know when that episode releases. If you are still with me now, thank you for watching. Hari Om.